Good morning. How are we? Wendy, did you enjoy your walk to Ramsald? Louis has thoroughly enjoyed his walk. I'm broken. My foot contact more than 4 kilometers, and then it's the end.
You did 7 though.
I did 8, but it's but I do feel it. How is everyone this morning? We will start slow and build the week up. The gyms they're starting to open up today. So I'm going to get really confused between the classes and what I've done and haven't done.
Ask Wendy if they went all the way to Ramsald.
Louis, did you hear that, Wendy? Did you go all the way to Ramsald? It was amazing.
16.5 kilometers.
They walked 14, but I think they started at Mount and you walked up.
Oh, I walked around.
Yeah, he walked to the house. That's amazing, isn't it? I can't wait for my weight to be lost so that my foot can be healed so that I can do that as well, because I was in agony yesterday.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful walk. I loved it. But I only went to the Woodall Manor, but where the Woodall Manor turnoff is. Okay, so easy Monday. I'm assuming, Gillian, you're at work. So if you're doing this later, welcome. Let's get going. Okay, so we're going to start on our backs. And what does Wendy say? You will, yes, well-deserved cider at Ramsald, yes. True.
I walked from the pub home to have a beer at home.
Yeah, I had a beer cold and ready for him when he got home.
There's something wrong with that. To walk 16 kilometers from the pub to your house to have a beer.
It's called being stingy. Okay, hug in your knees. Just get your back stretched out. If you did the walk to Ramsald, enjoy the stretch. This class is for Wendy and Louis today.
Yay.
Just roll it from side to side. And take your feet down. So today we're doing the Egyptian walk. So feet and knees relatively close together, and then just drop to one side, hold it there, keep the shoulders down. Let that stretch first. Keep the shoulders down. And then let that top leg walk back. Sorry. Walk back as far as you can, drop the knee down and just hold that. Unless it's painful, I think you will feel this today.
Is the bottom leg 90?
The bottom leg is 90, or it can be less. It doesn't matter that much. It's that top knee. Oh, you're doing well. That's a good intern. He's getting there. And I'm losing it. It's so funny. I'm losing my flexibility.
I think the walking helps.
Okay. Doesn't help me.
No.
And walk that feet back. Both 90-90 now. Grab a hold of that top leg and pull it in a little bit, keeping the opposite shoulder down. Tanya, how was your weekend in London? Did you have a nice weekend? And bring it back. All the way back. Oh, Julia, if you're there, I saw there was a tornado in your neighborhood. Well, Northampton, so I'm just assuming you live in the whole Northampton. Did you see it? Was it cool? Okay, drop your legs to the other side, hold it there, keep the shoulders down. It was a small tornado, it wasn't, American
movie tornado.
No. And no one can do stuff as big as America. They're the best country in the whole world. I'm sorry. Just making a joke. Walk that foot back, drop the knee down, and just hold. You can squeeze your bum in if that helps with the pressure on your knee. So I won't be climbing Snowdon this weekend, that's for sure. I shall be the taxi that drops everyone off and looks after the children who can't go.
Oh,
I know, but it's too painful.
it's your second time. You can't climb.
Because I'm so fat. Maybe if I lose like 30 kilos for my for my gift, I'll go and climb Snowdon. Bring the other leg in, bring it over, grab it behind the knee and put it down. What do you think? Do you think it's a good idea?
What?
If I lose 30 kilos, I can go climb Snowdon.
I think it's always nice to climb Snowdon.
Yeah, I'm quite bummed. I would have loved to climb it, but if I take how I walked yesterday, it wasn't pretty. And back to the middle. Okay, let's get going. Slide your legs down the mat and just take a few breaths in and out. Make sure your back feels okay. So move around until your back feels okay. Drop your shoulders back and down and just connect your navel to spine. So take that belt and tighten it around your waist. Drop your shoulders back and keep the shoulders on the floor. You're going to bring your knees in. Make sure your back is, your tailbone is tilted up a little bit. Put your hands on your, make sure there's nothing behind you because we're just going to get those shoulders moving a little bit. Hands on your knees, thumbs looking up, shoulders back and down, and that's not going to move. So you're going to take your arms back and lock your elbows out and just take it back as far as you can. Some people will only be able to go up to there and then start to either bend the elbows or run the shoulders up there to their ears. So just be very aware that you can't do that. Also, try not to tilt your pelvis as you go back because you tend to want to arch your back like I was just doing, like I'm doing to get it back. So tilt it up so that you don't do that. And just do a few of them, nice and slow, shoulders back and down. Don't tilt the pelvis. If you get stuck, don't force it down. Just note that you can't touch your thumbs on the mat. If you can touch the thumbs quite easily, you can flatten your hand and do exactly the same. And just see, this is kind of just a little test to see if you can rotate that scapula into that upward rotation without lifting up the shoulder and without arching the back, and just have that movement quite smoothly. Can you do that, Lou?
I can go until there, I think.
And arch. There you go. Okay, that's it. So just do a few of them. It's
Can you touch the ground?
It's kind of a serratus anterior activation exercise. So some of you will do this quite easily and would think, well, thank you for that. Waste of my time. And some people will struggle a lot. And then back to the top. The next one is a wall, a floor angel. So it's exactly the same activation. It's a little bit more difficult. So arms next to you, 90-90. And again, you've got that tilt. So make sure that the tailbone is tucked in and that pelvis is slightly tilted up so that you don't arch to go up to make space. And then all you're going to do is you're going to keep the shoulders back and down and run this up the mat until your hands touch at the back without bringing the shoulders up and arching your back. So I'll give you an example. I don't know if you can see it that well of a not to do. So a not to do would be like this. And a to do would be pelvis tucked in, shoulders back and down. And I'm not going to lie to you, when you get there, it gets quite difficult because you have to extend at the end and not lift up your shoulders.
Your arms on the floor?
Yes. You do it?
I can only go.
Okay. So again, this is mobility. It's serratus anterior work. If you get upper shoulder and neck pain, this is a good one. You can start with this and then move to a floor angel to start with.
Oh, do you just go straight up then?
Yes.
Or is that what you're supposed to do?
Yes. It is difficult to keep the shoulders back and down and not arch the back and extend the arms over your head. So just give that a go and then come back to the middle. That's just a little note for you if you have neck problems, maybe to get the serratus anterior a little bit activated to get it working. Hugging your knees nice and tight and roll up to a seated. Onto your hands and knees. And cat and go. Cat and go. So like usual, we're just going to flow to warm up to get everything stretched out. And then we're going to do static poses. So cat and cow, push up, enjoy, get that back nice and loose. My back's finally less painful after the kayaking. Up and down. And then you can tuck your toes under and go into a downward dog. And what we will start to do today is just bend the knees in, but push the heels back. That's a different stretch. So you bend the knees in, you push the bum up, and you just try and drop the heels. And then straighten them out again, rock forward a little bit, and push back, walk it out. Walk it out, walk it out. Shoulders back and down. Just get your stretch in. You can rock it forwards and back on your toes. Keep the legs straight, push the bum back to get that stretch. And as long as you don't jerk, have any jerk movements going, that's fine. And push it back. And hold. We're going to lift up the right leg, tuck the bum in. We are going to open up the knee today, so you can open up the hip, the knee, drop the foot down a little bit, squeeze the bum to lift up that knee. So lift up the knee, keep the chest down. So again, try not to rotate completely. Push the top bit of your body down and lift up that knee as high as you can with it opened up. And just hold. And stretch. While you're there, you can go onto the standing foot. You can go onto the toe and then start to slowly drop it down whilst keeping the top knee in position, pushing the chest down. And you can do that again. There's a spider on its way to me. Are you okay? Is your back sore?
No, I just struggle with that.
And then come back, rotate forward, hips down, legs straight, push back again. And foot to the floor, knees down, child's pose. Slide into your cobra. Make sure you're on the floor before you go up into the cobra, shoulders back and down. And as you shrug the shoulders back, lift up into that cobra, squeeze your bum, and hold. You just stay low, Lou.
Yeah.
Arms tucked in next to your side. And slowly go down to the floor. Hands on the mat in Sphinx pose. The same leg that you had in the air, I think it was right leg. Lift that leg up. Lift that foot up. Let it fall out as far as you can. Try not to lift up the opposite hip to drop that foot down. It's fine if it doesn't want to go down, but try and keep both hips on the floor. And then we're going to bring it back to the middle and take that foot over to the other side, touch at the back, and just hold. That was fun. Just hold that. Keep the navel to spine. And rotate it back to the middle. Hands next to your sides. Tuck your toes under and push back to child's pose. Stretch out your back. A lot of back work today, a lot of back focus, hip focus. Onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes under and go back into downward facing dog.
No.
Minion says no.
It's not raining, is it?
I don't know. It doesn't look like it's raining. Downward dog, just push back. And then you can bend the knees again, push the heels back, just keep them bent, stick your bum up into the air and push it up like so. Like so. And then straighten out again. Rock forward a little bit and then rock the bum back into downward dog. And you can do the rocking motion again. if you want. And then back to downward dog. Okay, so we're going to lift up the left leg. Squeeze the bum. Hips looking down. Tummy in. Then you're going to bend the knee and open up, but keeping the chest downish. Lift up that knee as high as you can. And then you can go onto the toe of the standing foot and just drop it down. If you can, keep that hip open. Try and open up that knee, get the foot towards your head, if you know what I mean. And rotate back to a straight line. And feet to the floor. Knees down, child's pose. Stretch out your back. And slide into a cobra. Come in. All the way down to the floor. So now you're going to bring your hands into a Sphinx. You're going to lift up the left leg and just drop that foot out without rolling this other hip off the floor. So keep it down, drop that foot. It doesn't have to, it only goes to where you can take it. Just hold it there. Navel to spine, and then bring that foot back. And then you're going to bring it over to the other side. And if you can touch the floor, hold it there. This is the same kind of motion as that downward dog we do. In the back, Louis.
Oh, sorry.
So go for that stretch. You can push that knee back. And hold. And rotate it back to the middle. Hands next to your sides and push back to a child's pose. Stretch out your back. Onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes under, last downward dog. Stretch it out. Navel to spine, hold, push the bum back, push. Sorry. Bum back, heels back. You can walk it out. And then you're just going to walk your feet back. The middle of the mat, put your heels down, walk your hands back and go into that forward bend with knees bent position. Drop your chest down towards your knees. And just hold that. Bend your knees in more, sweep the floor, lift up into a chair pose. Back straight, a bit of ten. Try not to arch your back too much. Keep a straight line, lift it up all the way to the top. Hands into your chest. We're going to do a wide-legged stretch today and a twist. As part of our static stretchiness. Oh, yes, I'll be doing this in the mornings for now. Not weekends, because I've got classes over weekends, but this weekend we're going away to Wales. So I'm not going to do Friday because I think we'll leave before that, will we?
Unfortunately, I think Friday, Monday, and Tuesday you can't do.
Yes, because I'm in Wales, but I'll discuss this later. Okay, take your legs wide. So yeah, I can do it from there. Well, I'll think about it. Take your legs wide. I'm going on holiday, not climbing Snowdon. Feet wide, feet forward, legs wide. We're going to go into a little twist, but we're going to take our time with that. So kind of pivot forward into a forward bend. Yeah, I'll do it this way. I don't think you can see me that well from this angle. Okay, into a tabletop, sorry. And then just take your hands to the floor and rock yourself forwards and back so that you just get used to that feeling. Push back, push forward, keep your back straight, hands more or less underneath your face. Oh, my foot's not going to like this. Ignore my one foot that's turned out. Okay, back to the middle. Hands on the mat, back straight. We're just going to twist first, left hand on the floor, and twist the right one up. Hips stacked. And hold that twist. Now kind of try and breathe yourself into that twist on the exhale. And rotate back to the middle. Other side. Twist into that side. And then once you're there, try and breathe yourself more into that twist. Shoulders back and down. I just shrug my shoulder up in the front of the camera. I have to work quite hard not to shrug my shoulders up, to be fair. And rotate back to the middle. Now go into a nice little forward bend. Take your time. Keep your back straight and pivot from your hips. And just let that go. In the meantime, try and get the weight to the front of your feet.
What are we doing? Just going down?
Just into a forward bend. As far as you can go comfortably without stretching too much. Keeping your bum up in the air. I think you can only see my back now and my hair. And just enjoy that. You can rock forwards and back while you do that. And just let that stretch. Then lift back up into that tabletop. Bring your feet in just a little bit closer. Just a little bit wider than the hip distance. Keep the legs straight, tabletop bow. We're going to do the same twist with the legs a little bit closer together. So if you feel the need to bend them, please do, because it's a back twist and it doesn't matter what your legs is doing. So again, leave the left hand underneath where more or less where your face is and twist up to the other side. Your twist is going to be less severe. So just be aware of that. Kind of breathe yourself into that twist. And rotate back, other side. Twist into that side. You can have your legs bent, so don't worry too much about that. And back to the middle. Walk your hands a little bit closer to your feet if you can. Bend your knees if you have to. Go into that forward bend, which is a little bit more difficult to do because your legs are closer together. You've got a longer way to go down. Get the weight to the front of your feet. Tip your tailbone up, pivot from your hips, and go into that forward bend. Relax into that. If you force it, it's not going to go. So do take your time and just breathe it down. Keep your navel to spine. Keep your tailbone up. Relax your shoulders. And breathe yourself down. And you should be able to pivot down a little bit, even if your legs is bent. Now bend your knees in and roll it up all the way to the top. Shrug your shoulders back and step it in. Keep it out. Oh, my bum is really stretched. I can feel that. Okay, feet and knees hip distance apart. Go into a seated, a chair without your hands in the air. Keep this bit of your body straight, the torso. Let your knees rock over your feet, but keep your heels down. And just hold that. And I just want you to notice, this doesn't happen a lot, but it can happen. So once this is all straight, and you're not arching or dipping forward like this, so your angle is a bit off. Once you've got the angle, sweep your arms up and see if you can stay with your torso in that position. So if you can't get your arms next to your ears without arching and dipping forward, just make a note of that. And go back to the wall angels. And dip it forward into a forward bend. Straighten out your legs. Step back to downward dog. Downward dog, walk it out. Walk it out. Forwards to plank. And this is the only power up we're doing today, just to make you feel you've done something. So we're just going to touch opposite shoulder with the opposite hand. So shoulder tucks, you can take your legs a little bit wider if you feel that's going to stabilize you more. Shoulder tucks, navel to spine. Try not to do a lot of this. When you do this, try and stabilize, putting the pressure in the opposite foot to hold you in place. Nice and slow and controlled. And back to plank. Downward dog. Are you okay?
No, I have to reset quickly.
Knees to the floor. Child's pose. Check out your wrists. How much time do it? Left. Okay, we're going to quickly do the downward dog back stretch again with the knee open. We won't do the floor one because we're running out of time. So when you're ready, onto your hands and knees, tuck your toes under, downward dog. And first we're going to lift up the right leg in a straight line, squeeze your bum. And then drop that foot, open up that knee, open up the hip, and just hold that. So the higher you can lift that knee up, the nicer the stretch. Some people grab the foot with their hand, not fall over and do funky stuff, but I will just fall on my face if I do that. Press the chest down, navel to spine. Turn it back to the middle, lift up the leg, squeeze the bum. And back to downward dog. Stretch it out, and that should start to feel a little bit better. And then when you're ready, lift up the left leg in a straight line. Navel to spine, squeeze the bum. Open up, let the foot fall. Lift up that knee as high as you can. That's a lot of bum action there. So squeeze the bum, Louis. Bend the knee, Louis. Navel to spine. And rotate back to the middle. Back to downward dog. Drop your heels down, last stretch. Knees to the floor. Child's pose. Take child's pose. Walk your hands forward and just get that nice big stretch in your back. Put your elbows down and come up onto your hands and elbows. Not hands and elbows, knees and elbows. That would be very difficult to do hands and elbows. Okay, so just get a neutral spine with your back. And all we're going to do is thread the left arm through the right, drop that arm down, and then push back a little bit. Your bum, you should feel that stretch if you push back a little bit. You feel it? Mm-hmm. Just hold that. That's a twist and a stretch. Open up that shoulder. And bring it back to elbows and knees, neutral spine. Then thread the needle through the other side, right to left. Once it's down, you can push back a little bit and see if you can find that stretch. I find the stretch the easiest way this way, but if you can't, if it's a different muscle with you, this is I can feel my posterior deltoid going. Stretch. And drop it back up. Bring the arms back. Keep your elbows down. We're going to do cat and cow with the elbows down, which kind of isolates your lower back a little bit. So cat and cow with your elbows down, and you should feel that a little bit more intense in your lower back. Squeeze it up and let it go. You don't have to go into a crazy cow. You can just relax it into a straight back. And then when you find your last cat push up. You can just rock it back into a child's pose. Rock it all the way back. Move from side to side if you have to get that bum down. Anything really to get that stretch into the back. Shoulders back and down. And then we're going to just roll it up nice and slow. Onto your legs. Shrug the shoulders back and down. And shrug them back and down as well. Hold them there. Back and down. If you can, grab your elbows behind your back. Oh, I can't. I've lost everything with my... Shrug your shoulders back. Today's first class is going to be interesting. An hour. Shrug the shoulders back and hold it there. So just sit on your knees while you've got those elbows in your hands. Tuck your tailbone in. You can lean back a little bit if you want to stretch. Not really crazy, just tuck your tailbone in and push forward a little bit for that quad stretch, if your knees can take it. And back onto your knees, shoulders back and down. Let it go. Woo. Yes. That was interesting. Let it go. Lift up your arms. Once your hands is at the top, straighten out your elbows. Rotate your shoulders back and down again. Hands together with straight arms if you can above your head. Can you lock out your elbows? And we're going to drop it down like a floor angel. Now try not to arch your back. Keep it tucked in. Bring that floor angel down into the air. Shoulders back and down. Try not to arch. It's going to be extremely difficult not to arch. And you have to kind of sit that lazy sit just to help yourself. Roll it back up again. Keep the shoulders back and down. Extend the elbows out. And bring it back one last time. Drop your arms. You are done for today. So we'll step it up a notch through the week and see how we get. So I don't think we're going to do Friday because I don't know what time we're going to leave.
We've gone to Friday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday because we're in Wales. It's quite a long time. It doesn't feel right. It feels wrong. The gym was very happy with me when they just open up. I'm like, I'm going on holiday. I didn't know they were going to open up in my defense. Okay, I will see you all tomorrow. Have a lovely Monday. Back to work, Gillian. I don't think you're there. I think you're at work. It rained. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.